Welcome to Saturday's coverage of the 2012 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open, brought to you by RazaLife.com. The first game on Saturday is between CEP and the Ironmen. In the first point, Mike Paxton tries to hold Peter Velarde out of the snake, while Kyle Spica gets himself shot out of the Doritos. The rookie Velarde makes it to the snake, but he is soon left all alone. Mike Paxton runs him down and shoots him in the dome, while Velarde fires off some shots into the parking lot. Despite losing Brandon Short early, the next point is more of the same, with Rainey Stanzek taking his turn to run down Osvaldo Lopez in the snake, then continuing to run down and bunker Peter Velarde out of the corner. CEP continues to attack the snake, and the Ironmen continue to bunker them out. Tokahi Hamill trades with Dan Keene. In the next point, Peter Velarde gets shot off the break. Barrett Edgerton tries to run through and take out Justin Schwartz, but he gets shot before he gets there and plays on. And guess what? CEP gets another penalty.
We just play against Ironman. We try to hold the Dorito sides, that they're strong side, so we try to make some games to hold those guys, but they are a good team. Sometimes it's hard. We try to do our best, but it was good enough.
We just got done playing CEP, Chattanooga. We started off early, got a couple points, gained momentum, and kept it to them, you know.
Ironmen skunk out CEP 7-zip. The next game is Seattle Thunder versus Omaha Vicious. The score stayed close for the first half of this match, with both teams scoring points and taking penalties. Shane Colby makes a move and gets a shot on Bearham's goggles. Parker Rosenthal runs through the center, opening up the Dorito side for Patrick Winfield. Vicious scored a few more points consecutively and starts to pull away from Thunder.
Kind of a grind out, back and forth game. Ended up being 5-2. You know, those long grind out points we've been working on quite a bit back at home, and we happened to win every single one of them when it came down to those long points. So really trying to get to the red jerseys, and looking forward to our next match.
Trevor Rezar has a nice run through from the A to bunker out Bearham, giving Vicious the commanding lead. With little game time left, Vicious just needs to ride out the clock. The buzzer sounds as time runs out, and Vicious takes the 5-2 win. The next game is the highly anticipated match between Infamous and Heat. Fedorov works his way up the center, but doesn't live there long. Both teams lose players from the Dorito side. Sergey and Sam Monville finish off Bobby Aviles, and Heat takes the first point. Infamous is able to come right back and put up a point of their own. Infamous would score the next 3 points, despite being down on bodies nearly every point.
That tough game against Infamous, just kind of gave it away. I mean, we had points keeping them pinched in short bunkers and had bodies on them, and just guys getting shot stupid coming down the field. Winning points, we had one. That last point, there's no explanation for what happened right there. That's like a 4-on-1, 4-on-2 that you know, Damien just did what Damien does and shot us all, and you know, that was the game.
We just had a battle with Houston Heat. We were both 2-0 from Friday coming in. We knew it was going to be a fucking battle. Last point with about a minute and a half left, we knew they had to bring it. Came down to just a bunch of chaos at the end, and somehow I managed to shoot a couple guys running. I think Bobby traded out with the snake guy. We held out for the win, 4-3.
Fighting back, Heat makes it a close game, but in the last point, Damian Ryan holds off their heavy press. Infamous wins 4-3. check out RazaLife.com and click on the Team Infamous page. They have a wide selection of Infamous jerseys, Team Empire axes, apparel, and headbands. The next game is Iron Man vs. Thunder. Both teams push up the Doritos in the first point, but aggressive play from Kyle Spica helps the Ironmen win the first point. But Thunder has an answer. They come out and win the next point to tie the game. Again, Kyle Spica pushes up the Doritos, but he's out of paint. Ryan Martin throws him a pod that breaks open, and one of those paintballs breaks on his loader. The ref thinks Kyle is playing on and pulls a penalty on him. Despite the penalty, the Ironmen are able to play through it and put another point on the board. In the next point, things get even easier for the Ironmen when Thunder takes a pair of penalties.
Just got done playing the Ironmen. Tough game, 5-3. It was 2-2 for a little bit there. We're holding off strong. They went up on us 2 points. We came back 1. You know, we were a point down. We got a couple penalties, man, which kind of haunts us a little bit. So that's kind of what broke the bank for us. Like I said, ended up 5-3. We tried to make a couple things happen at the very end. Just couldn't go through with it, brother. So next event, here we come.
With little time left on the clock, Thunder makes a desperation run at the center. However, the player is hit early and the ref calls a major. A major in the last 90 seconds automatically gives Ironman the point. Thunder gives it one last strong effort before time runs out, and Ironmen take the victory. The next game is Infamous vs. CEP. Infamous took advantage of the snake early and often. John Glanville tries to get an angle on Damian Ryan as Damian shoots out Osvaldo Lopez in the snake. Damian finishes the first point with a couple more kills. Infamous takes the lead and doesn't look back.
We just played Infamous. It was a pretty close match. We had a bunch of long points, so the first point was probably 5 minutes. Pretty much we just slowed down the whole game. We decided to attack on the snake side this time because the rest of our matches we were just getting blown out like on the D side off break. So we were slowing it down on D side this time, pushed snake, and we just kind of let them come to us. They were getting all the spots and we were just shooting them out. A couple games I think we just made some small mental errors, and that's all it's coming down to now. We know that we have the talent. We just need to put together the mental game.
It was actually a really close game. The points were super long. The final score was only 2-1, and we ran the clock down on that last point. I think we were going to get that flag hang, but we didn't need the point differential. We got our bye into the semis, so we get to relax in the morning and be ready for the finals.
Final score is actually 3-1, Greg, you big dummy. Infamous wins and advances directly to the semifinals on Sunday.
Oh, get out, sucker! Bye, sucker! Night, night!
The next game is Houston Heat versus Omaha Vicious. Houston Heat takes full control of the first point by dominating the Dorito side. Chris Hooker is left alone in the corner, and Nick Slowiak remembers to stay in bounds and closes in on him. In the next point, Vicious loses Shane Colby off the break. Shortly after, Trevor Rizar gets a major penalty for playing on. Vicious is able to run down the penalty time, and Trevor makes it out of the box. On the Dorito side, Brian Bortle surprises a hopperless Chad Bouchez and trades out with him. Trevor takes advantage of the chaos and cleans up the field. However, this would be the only point Vicious would score.
just played our 4th prelim match here at MAO. Played heat, ended up going down real big to them early. Ended up getting a couple penalties, at least 1 or 2, a major and a minor, I think. And then it was really hard to climb out of that hole. It's kind of a reoccurring theme on our team here. It seems like big games, we always put ourselves in big holes and then we have to try to climb out. And when you're playing against other good players and other good teams, it's really hard to do that. So that's where we're at.
We know that Vicious likes to sit on their guns a lot. They like to have a few runners out far, you know, Shane Colby and other guys like that. So we knew we had to get those guys and then get out wide ourselves and then just keep those guys pinched in there, you know. They double up a few of the bunkers and stuff like that. So we knew that going in. We knew what they did. We knew they play a slow-paced game, you know, a lot of cross-field shooting, stuff like that. So we knew it was there, and we knew that we had to work with the guys behind us, shoot that guy in for our front guys to move, you know, stuff like that. They don't get off their guns, you know. They shoot a lot of paint, and they're patient. So that's like the opposite of what we do. So we knew that going in. We knew we had to play smart.
Houston Heat would take advantage of all the vicious penalties, scoring 6 unanswered points. Ryan Smith finishes off the last point from the Snake by shooting out Trevor Rizard left alone in the corner. Houston Heat wins this one 7-1. The next game is the start of the afternoon bracket, Damage versus Aftershock. Aftershock came out with their usual aggressive play, but each and every time Damage would hold them off and eventually win the point. Here Dave Baines runs through and gets a 2-piece.
Honestly, even though it was 5-0 us, it was still a great game. They had every spot on us almost practically every game. They were in the 50 Dorito, they were in the 50 Snake, they were in our Snake, a couple of points. We just somehow, you know, shot them out of their spots and won the games, which is real risky because against a better team, you know, that's probably not going to happen. We just need to control the lanes a little more, tighten up a little better, and make those moves rather than them beating us to those spots and us just sitting back. We just need to do that and control the game and play a little better, and we'll be all right.
Damage takes this one 5-zip. Next up is X Factor versus 187 Crew. The first point, Ashton Johnson gets shot going forward on the Dorito side. Brian Jankel is able to make it to the 50 Snake, but X Factor takes him out. Colt Roberts shoots Nick Laval, making a sloppy move, and Dan Zaleski is left alone. Ooh, taking it from both sides, not fun. Does your team leave you to die all alone? Get some extra padding by ordering an MKR jersey from MarazaLife.com. Tons of great designs, or go fully custom. Nobody likes to take it from both sides. Ease the pain with an MKR jersey. In the next point, Ashton Johnson gets shot off the break. Max Traylor takes advantage and goes to work for 187, getting up to the 50 Dorito and shooting out Colt Roberts and Archie Montemayor. Todd Morrow and Billy Bernaccia fall, and 187 ties the game.
Played 187 Crew. We were fortunate enough to take a look at their game plans a couple of games beforehand. Watched about three of their games. Saw that they used the center and were pushing the Dorito side a lot more, so we kind of geared our game plan towards that. Knew they were going to take the center tall cake. Keyed up on that. We're able to get a couple of G's off the break early. Game was still close in the beginning. It was kind of back and forth. We got a crucial major. We were able to kill that major in the first in that point, so that was huge on our part, and then we were able to pull away.
We just got done playing X Factor out here, our first game on Saturday, and basically we were in most of the points and they were just chopping us up. We were making, honestly, kind of getting shot out of our bunkers when we shouldn't, getting shot, making silly bumps. They were shooting our snake corner, We were really trying to use that to push our guy into the snake. We couldn't really get anything going on the D side, and whenever we did, they would shoot at our snake guys. I think we just lost it on these little mistakes, cost us points, and then we just cost us the match overall.
With a run through from Nick Laval, 187 is able to put a third point, but only 6 seconds are left. X Factor takes the win 6-3. Next up is the Russian Legion versus Dynasty. Dynasty comes out aggressive. Oliver Lang runs up the middle and gets a couple kills. Alex Goldman is right behind him, running down Kirill. In the next point, Dalton Vanderbilt takes control of the Dorito side, shooting Januszewski from the Snake side, then bunkering out Panelli. The next point, Axel Godden takes a lucky bounce off his head. He takes advantage of this second life and presses down the Snake. Verhidny finishes off the point by bunkering out Rusty Glaze. The teams continue to battle back and forth, trading points in a game that would come down to the very end.
We won 4-3 with only 5 seconds left. It was a really tough game with really long points. They were shooting really good off the break, and we have to break narrow to don't get shot. We managed to reverse the situation when we have a G's. So I think that's why we win this game.
Hey, it's Compton Ray from San Diego Dynasty. We just had a tough match against Russian Legion. First point we came out, we decided to come out a little bit stronger. We did. Lost second point. It was pretty much a back and forth battle. Last point came down to 30-second match. I guess somebody on the Dorito side, we got a major penalty. It should have been, minor, but pretty much gave him a point. So that's what it is.
In the last point, Ryan Greenspan plays on with a tank hit, and he receives a major penalty. Red Legion automatically gets the point and takes the 4-3 win. Next game is Tampa Bay Damage versus Upton 187 crew. Damage breaks out in control, and 187 starts off their game with a major penalty.
How's this look? We just played Damage, and for the 4th time they beat us 7-1. This tournament we were really concentrated on coming out and playing smart paintball, taking it a little bit slower. We came out today trying to put a little pep in our step, to be a little bit more aggressive, and it didn't work out. Seems like Damage comes out real hard, and then I think our guys kind of think that all right, we got to make big moves and stuff to compete, but they're more experienced than us, and they lock the field down when we start to push, and we start losing bodies stupid. So I think that was the big negative takeaway from our performance at this tournament.
We're just looking to stay aggressive for the rest of our matches and just keep in control. We pretty much scouted out 187 pretty good. We know that they're pretty good at lane shooting, and they're playing really well this event. And they're hungry, so we have to come out on top and just show them who's boss. Had to get him.
Damage came out with the intention to score the full 7 points. In the last point, Jacob Edwards heads up the center and gets the final kill. Damage wins 7-1. The next game is Dynasty versus Aftershock. Dynasty needs a big point margin to have a chance to move on to the quarterfinals. In the first point, AJ Lawhead and David Simmons work their way down the Dorito side, making smart, short moves. They win the point, and Dynasty's chance of heading to Sunday are slipping away. In the next point, Alex Goldman is able to head down the Dorito side, but to make things worse for Dynasty, he receives a major penalty at the end of the point.
It was a real close, hard-fought match. We went up 1-0 right away. We came back. It was just a battle back and forth. It was a hard fight. We just fell a little bit too short. tried being a little aggressive, but you know, their lanes are real good, and they kind of picked us apart when we were trying to do big moves, so we kind of tried to stay in the back a little bit, playing their game. It worked a little bit, it just fell a little bit too short. I guess the beer didn't bring enough good mojo, so it was back to the drawing board and keep working at it, and hopefully next time we get better results.
We needed to win by a big point differential. We weren't really able to do that. Those guys brought it. They're definitely getting better, and you know, they got Mike Bruno as a coach and a lot of young talent. So you know, they're getting a little better and better every tournament. But we were able to edge them out by a couple points, and you know, did our best. So see you at World Cup.
Both teams are desperate to score in the final point. McCormick and Wozni both head to the A. McCormick takes out Wozni, and Yosh Rao is right behind him. Time runs out before anyone can score. Dynasty wins 5-3. The final game of the day is Red Legion versus X Factor. Both teams are guaranteed spots into Sunday's matches, but a long back and forth battle, this proved to be one of the best games of the event.
We just got done playing our last match of the day against San Antonio X Factor, and you know, we knew they were going to bring us a tough game. We knew they were going to be aggressive. We knew we had to be aggressive back, and you know, counterpunch if we couldn't get the first attack. I really don't think you know, either team was having a lot of luck getting shots off the break. I think they might have, you know, got a few more of us on the break than we got of them, and they took advantage of it. You know, it was a back and forth game. They gave us a great match, and they came out on top. I think the final score was 4-3.
Hey, what's up? Billy Bonacci here with San Antonio X Factor. Just got done playing the Russian Legion. We beat them by 1 point. It was a close game, man. Every point was back and forth. And you know, we got up by 1 point at the end of the game. We had 23 seconds to burn off, and we burned it off. We won the game. And you know, that's hard to do against the Russians, because if any team here is going to score that 23-second point, it's the Russians. So we handled business today. We're on to Sunday, and we're 3-1 right now, so feeling really good about this event. Hopefully it carries over to tomorrow.
Legion has one last chance to tie the game in the final point. They send Burnikov up the center, but he doesn't live long. Kirill and Panalev are next to fall as time runs out and X Factor takes the win. Make sure you check out our Sunday coverage, which features a new Short Bus episode. The download will be available September 6th at Derder.com. Later, bitches.